welcome to Teacher's Corner. This will be preparing your level 30 Starship. I had turned over all my duty officer missions and suddenly was level 30 unexpectedly. I did not expect to gain levels that quickly. So, first things first, we're going to talk to
Greetings.
Temporal
How can I
Agent
assist you today? Oh,
because since I've gained some extra levels here, number one, I can claim the Delta Recruit fleet project because I have joined a fleet already, so I'm going to go ahead and collect that. And I can also collect a couple more story arcs because these are things my Delta Recruit has completed, and that gives me a couple extra fleet marks. As you can see, I now have, let's collect that, some dilithium from it and some fleet vouchers. The fleet vouchers can be spent in fleet projects. They will be spent before my normal dilithium in fleet projects only. Okay? Alrighty. So I'm going to close that. That's all I'm eligible to collect. And because I am now level 30, I do have the mission from Admiral Quinn to talk to. I'm going to take my promotion. Alright, we don't need to hear him talk, so I've taken my promotion, and now I am going to the shipyard to collect my level 30 ship. Oh, hello. So, took the promotion, and now it says report to Admiral Quinn's office. There we go. Let's try that again. So now I talk to Admiral Quinn. And continue. There we go. Didn't register since I was already in Admiral Quinn's office. So now I have my skills respect token. Okay. And I'm going down. Now you notice I'm taking, as I go through all of the ships from the Temporal Agent pack, I am not actually redeeming the tokens to get a ship as I level. I'm going to save those for when I hit level 52 and can do Admiralty. Those ship claim tokens will still be there, and then I can go and claim those ships, the ships that I want, once I get Admiralty, and immediately discharge. That's a nice little handy trick, so I'm not taking up space in my hangar bay as I level up. Alright, so I want to get a new starship. I want to browse selection. I am now captain, so I'm going to limit my selection to captain, and I am looking for the temporal cruiser. Alright, so this is going to give me, okay, interesting. It'll give me something to work with. Okay, so I'm going to take that and buy a ship. So I'm going to use the Gemini and free. So now I have claimed it. It will show up in my inventory. There it is. And there. Alright, I am going because, as you can see, I've already upgraded all of my gear. So I am going to go ahead. I want to be able to name my new ship Teacher's Corner. So I'm going to rename this. I'm actually going to do easy. Enter a name, enter a random name, click OK. So now this is the USS Trent. Almost forgot to take my two devices off. There we go. I'm saving this because I want it available for Admiralty when, there we go, when that becomes available. Alright, so now I want to select my ship. And here we go. USS Samaria. We're going to change that name to the Teacher's Corner. Click OK. And now we want, not that one, USS Teacher's Corner. We're going to ready the start. What is this console? Destabilization matrix. This looks interesting. Physical damage over time. And resistance, damage resistance, and shield hardness debuff. So this gives me interesting. This might be interesting to test out. I should have the console space to do it, so I'm going to leave this on. The rest of these are going to be immediately discarded, of course, because I do not want them on the ship. So I'm going to discard all of this gear. Discard. Alright, discard. And discard. Whee! So much fun discarding. 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 Okay. And discard. And discard. And discard. Okay. So now I have all of my ship gear ready to go. I do have now 3 crit D3 over beams. One of them, another one popped, as we call it. Another of them upgraded. So I now have 3 crit D3 overs. Those are going on my 4 weapons. Okay. And the rest are crit D2 overs. Okay, so I'm going to put those on. I now have room, you're seeing, for 7 weapons. Okay. As you can see, 3 of them are crit D3 overs. The rest are still very rare at crit D2. Okay. Put my devices in. I want to keep those 2 devices. There we go. I want to make sure I get my plasmonic leech in. I also want to put that in engineering. My EPS flow regulator. This gives me a little extra EPS. And I'm going to, of course, put my science console as my M6 computer. Since I do have an extra space, and I don't have anything better to put there yet, I'm going to go ahead and put my destabilization probe. Okay. And then I'm going to put, I had another tactical console switch to ultra rare. So I'm going to make sure I put that in. So I have 2 ultra rares and a single very rare. I do have 2 extra tac consoles up here waiting in the wing. Alright, and other than that, we're looking at our normal deflector, impulse, warp engines, and shields. Our warp engines did pop to ultra rare. Alright, that is all of our gear. Now, we are looking at this from dry dock. The Starship has been readied, so let's look at this from our normal view. There we go. All our gear is put on. So now we're going to look at the stations. So we have an Ensign Universal. We have a Commander Engineering. We have a Lieutenant Commander Tactical. We have a Ensign Engineering. And we have a Lieutenant Science. So the Lieutenant Science, I'm going to put to Met. She has the 2 science skills that I usually use. That's absolutely fine. For Lieutenant Commander Tactical, I'm going to put Mr. Augustin here. He has my Beam Fire at Will 3 and Attack Pattern Beta 1. He has my Beam Fire at Will 1 in his 23rd century. That's okay. I'm going to put, for my universal, I'm going to put my other tactical, Tarsi. She's got my TAC Team 1, which is being cooled down by duty officers, so it's at just about global, or at global, easily. Alright, so that's on this ship, because we only have 4 tactical abilities. This is pretty much the best we're going to get. We have 2 versions of Fire at Will, so that has the most uptime. We have at least 1 attack pattern beta, best we can do here. And we have a tactical team, which has a global cooldown reached by duty officers. Alright, so as far as our tactical skills, that is our best option here for a beam boat. Alright, so for our engineering, I'm going to put Scavron. Alright, and we're actually going to change some of his skills here. First of all, for Ensign, we're going to change that back to Engineering Team 1. I'm fine with that. For the Lieutenant Commander ability, we're actually going to go ahead and train him in, you'll see I have it waiting in the wings, Emergency Power to Weapons 3. Alright, so we're going to put Emergency Power to Weapons 3, there it is, on him. He has now learned that. Okay, so I'm going to put that and then go back to stations, and we're going to put that on him. Now for the last skill, we do have a couple options. We can put Ox to Sif, Ox to Structural Integrity Field, or we could put a Reverse Shield Polarity. I like the Ox to Structural Integrity Field. It kind of negates the downside of Anchored, because it gives you a damage resistance buff. It also gives you a minor heal, and it has a extremely short cooldown time. I can put an I can put another engineering team here in the Ensign Engineering, and that gives me the option of 2 engineering team 1s, which are a decent heal. So I'm going to go ahead and get those. For the Ox to Sif, I'm going to go to the exchange, and I'm going to go ahead, here we go. Because it's going to be a higher
wake up.
number. Alright, I'm going to put in very quickly the structural, and I'm going to look at training manuals, engineering manual, and I'm going to search. So we have auxiliary power structural integrity 2. I want level 3, so I'm going to put alright, structural integrity 3, and this gives me exactly what I want. 359,000, not terrible. Alright, so I now have the Ox to Structural Integrity 3, so I'm going to go to Scavron, Skills, and I'm going to train that. Auxiliary to Structural Integrity, where is it? Oh, that's right. I know why he can't do it. I haven't promoted him yet. Alright, and then I will go down to... Have to remember to promote my officers. Okay. Now, for the engineering team 1, you may go, oh, you're at the exchange. Why not just buy it there? Because the markup is ridiculous. I can easily go down to the trainer under Admiral Quinn's office. Here he is. And buy my engineering team 1 very cheaply. Here we go. And engineering space and team 1 for 250 EC versus what it costs on the exchange, which is a ridiculous amount. Alright, so I can use any of my engineers in this. I have quite a few of them. Scavern I cannot use because he's already doing the things. I'm going to go ahead and use my Intel engineer. And now I'm going to go to skills. And I'm going to train her. There it is, engineering team 1. Put that as her default ability. Back to stations. There we go. Now I'm going to go through and promote each of my officers. There we go. Promote. There we go. Promote. There we go. Promote very quickly, going through this, promoting them, and we will soon be ready to go. Alright, and promote. Okay. Now we have enough. We can train Scavron in his emergency power to, auxiliary structural integrity 3. Put that as his default. Stations. And I want to change that here. Structural integrity 3. So this is our layout for our cruiser. I do want to go ahead and train my ground team here in their final ground abilities. Okay, which is going to be quantum mortar fabrication 2. So there it is, quantum mortar, and put that as their default. Okay, and additional same thing. Where is it? Make sure, here we go. There it is. Okay, and quantum mortar. Neril, same thing. There it is, quantum mortar. Train that up. Okay, and this way, this makes them all quite deadly on the ground, as you've been seeing. Alright, so make sure they're all showing quantum mortar. There we go. So, our engineering bridge crew or away team is now all ready. We've promoted everybody. We've gotten our skills. Last thing to do, head up into space and make sure everything is set up. Alrighty. Okay. First thing to make sure we do, set up our power levels, because otherwise we tend to forget. I want the optimal power levels for DPS, which is beams or weapons at full power, and I want my auxiliary at the next highest. I want to save this and go to level 1. Next thing to make sure that I have all of my weapons set to auto fire. There we go. All of my weapons are set to auto fire. And there we go. I want to unlock my tray. And I'm going to get rid of all of these lovely beams that I don't need here because I'm going to fire my beams with my other things. Alright, so I have my temporal destabilization probe. Alrighty, now I'm going to let's set up my spam bar. Remember, I want highest level of emergency power first. Then I want my highest level of beam fire at will. Then my lower level. Then I want my attack pattern beta, followed by my tactical team. Now I am going to put in my Ox to structural integrity. This is because I know it has a very short cooldown. I want to take constant advantage of the damage debuff, or sorry, the damage buff that it gives to me. So I'm going to put that in next. Then I'm going to put in my, since I don't have to worry about about coordinating with the team right now, I'm going to go ahead and put my attack pattern alpha in. And I'm going to put in, I'm not going to put in ramming speed. I'm actually going to get rid of ramming speed because I don't use that. I am going to put in fire at my mark. And I'm going to put in tactical initiative. Okay. And for the damage buff, I'm going to put in, or damage resistance buff, I'm going to put in that on tray 9. Okay. So, little heavier than I like, but that is okay. That is our spam tray. And there we go. Now, let's close our inventory. Let's put these things where I usually do. That goes there. Hey, where's my subspace decompiler? Okay, this goes here. There's my field modulator. Okay. This is new. That's the temporal shockwave. Okay. Put that there. Cruiser controls, I want that there. I want evasive maneuvers there. I don't usually use the other two cruiser controls. Alrighty-roo. Here we go. 4 grins. Alright. And we're going to put our things, advanced tactical computer, we're putting on W. So we're putting on R. Okay. And, or E, let's put that on R. I like my science and tactical team there. And I usually like to put my engineering teams like that. Alright, my bars are set up to my satisfaction. So we are now ready to begin playing the next episode. So this has been Teacher Kirby preparing your level 30 ship. Remember, I did choose a cruiser, so I had to deal with a limited amount of tactical slots. Okay. So we put 2 copies of Fire at Will. We did skimp a little on our attack pattern debuffs to our enemies, but at least we had one. We do have a global cooldown on tactical team because of the duty officers, the con officers that I have. We put in a little bit extra defensive abilities and our normal 2 science abilities here. Alright, this has been preparing your level 30 ship. I will see you at the next episode, The Ultimate Klingon.